Hello, fellow plant people. Welcome back if you are returning, and if you are new, my name is Jen. I go by The Leafy Geek here and also on Instagram. Today I am going to do something a little bit different than what I've done in past videos, but I've really wanted to do this for a while. I am going to bonsai my ponytail palms. So I have this little trio here. I picked them up at my local garden center probably last spring or summer 2019, and they were in one little pot, the three of them. So I did separate them for a little while. I had this larger one in the center in its own pot, and then I had these two little ones together in a different pot. And as you can see, they take up a lot of space, as they are, with their foliage kind of going every which way. A lot of people like this look. I kind of get stressed out by it. So, what I'm planning to do is bonsai. I've been looking and trying to research how to bonsai a ponytail palm, if such a thing existed. And I came across the wonderful Nigel Saunders on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is link the video that I used as kind of a reference for this one. I'm following his advice and his example. He's got a really great video on doing bonsai with ponytail palms. So I will link that in the cards. I will also link that down in the description. So what I'm going to focus on for my little activity today is I'm going to essentially trim all of these long fronds back quite a bit. I'm going to try and shape them so as they grow, they will kind of spill over and create that ponytail effect that you see often in ponytail palms. These ones are still pretty small. They haven't grown up. They're slow growers. So the one that you'll see in Nigel's video, I think he says that he has had it for like 15 or 20 years, I think. Oh, Hound Dog decided to squeak her squeakiest squeaky toy. So that's a thing. Ah! I think we're gonna mellow out here. Oh. I don't have the heart to take her toy away from her because it's her favorite toy, but it is the squeakiest toy. Please. So I had these potted in two different pots for a while, a long time. Then I decided to put them together again, but give them each room to kind of grow, and I had these really neat terracotta, I think these are the Doroma. Doroma brand that I picked up a long time ago from my local garden center, and I don't really know what I was thinking I would plant it at the time, but I really like how they kind of, sit in a row in this planter, but I think I don't have enough soil. So what I'm going to first do before I get into the bonsai part of things is I am going to add a little bit more soil so that they sit a little bit closer. To the top. And that will give them much more of a bonsai effect. I think it just kind of levels it out a little bit. They'll look a little bit less like onions and maybe a little bit more like a landscape, which is what I would like them to eventually look like. So here we go. Okay, these have been elevated a little bit. I've got a lot more soil in there, and now that they're sitting up higher, it feels a little bit more intentional, a little bit more artistic in a way, I guess. I like the look of it a lot better. So next step, if you haven't checked out Nigel's video, might be a fun idea to go ahead and watch it before you kind of see what I'm gonna do. He has a lot of really good advice, and he was kind of the main resource that I was using in order to figure out how to do this. So mainly I didn't want to hurt the plant. I didn't want to ruin the plant or destroy it in any way, even though it's not my favorite. I certainly didn't want to just waste a perfectly good ponytail palm. So I'm going off of some main tips that he provides, which is, you know, you can trim these fronds short to kind of keep them manageable in smaller spaces. And also, sometimes if your ponytail palm is large enough, cutting off like the main central growth point promotes branching. So if you cut off a growth point, like a crown here, like right, you know, kind of here at the base, while leaving a couple of the larger leaves just so that it can continue to photosynthesize. But if you cut this off, you could end up with 2 new growth points out of that central point that then kind of branch out and create more of a tree-like shape. So that's kind of neat. Don't know that I'm going to do that with mine because they are still quite small and I don't want to overstress them. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of cutting. I'm cutting a lot of these fronds back. So I don't want to do too much. There is such a thing as doing too much. And I might have that gene, as Jenna Marbles would say. But I think mainly to kind of get it to a place where, you know, it will essentially promote thicker leaves at the ends, and also kind of to shape it so it has that classic ponytail palm shape as it grows up, I think would be something that's kind of neat for these 3 little palmettes. So that's what I'm going to do. I have my shears here, my sterilized shears, and the first thing he mentions is that when you cut on a slant. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this. You cut on a slant, and then if you want to go back the other way to create a point on that end of the leaf, you can do that as well. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but now I have kind of a sword-shaped end or a spear, similar to how it looked originally. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this for a little bit. I'll speed it up for you so you don't have to sit through this, me doing this in silence. We don't want that. So yeah, I'm going to start. Might as well start with this one since I've already got one done. So here we go. Smaller ones done. So really I was just giving them a good trim. I think it's kind of equivalent to anybody really giving yourself, your hair, a good trim. Get rid of kind of the cruddy ends, which these kind of have these browning tips just kind of left over from the winter, not getting enough humidity, maybe not even getting enough light. So it's kind of a good cleanup. And obviously, you know, these fronds will grow back as the trees grow up, but it gets them to a place that's just a little bit more manageable for me. So then, what I'm going to try and do here, I'm going to see if I can get these in a way that's kind of what I want. I'm debating what I'm going to do with this central one. If I'm going to go ahead and just do the same thing that I did with the other ones, if I'm going to cut it back a little bit more, or because it is a little bit bigger, I'm wondering if I should just I'm real scared to do that. I think we're going to just trim it up like the other ones, and then we'll see how it looks. So here we go. I don't know, guys. I am trying to figure out if I like it. I mean, it's kind of hard to go back now, but it's a lot shorter. I kind of like this look. And this is, I think how it's recommended to trim them is to trim the central growth off a little bit shorter because that gives you that shape. So I might, these side ones are looking a little bit scragglier than the central one now that I'm looking at them. So I might kind of give these guys another trim. Let's try that. And that's the thing with bonsai is that, or at least with these guys, they will grow back. Yeah, I do kind of like that look. How it kind of branches over a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Looks a little less messy. So we're gonna do the same with this one over here, and then I think I'm just gonna call it good. Okay. So, Ponytail palm is trimmed. I definitely think that I like, out of all of them, I think I like the central one the best in terms of how it turned out. Again, it's not really, you know, until they grow up a little and start to grow those leaves out again, they'll kind of shape themselves. But really, I just needed to trim them up, get them cut back, and I think eventually these will go outside for the summer. They did last year and they did great, so maybe that'll speed up their growth a little bit in the bright light and humidity for a summer. So I might also top dress this a little bit. I have some black stone, and I don't know that I have any white stone anymore, but maybe just to kind of reinforce that mini landscape effect. But yeah, I think that this will do. So again, if you haven't checked out Nigel Saunders' video on ponytail palms, I definitely recommend taking a look. The guy knows what he's talking about. He's got this entire channel devoted to bonsai, and it's really, really cool. So I definitely, you know, if you haven't found him already, please go take a look. It's pretty cool. So that is all from me. So I hope you guys are having a lovely week, and until next time, enjoy your plants.